Hello and welcome back. Now then, I have a confession to make. You may well see that this grass has been cut. Well, there is a story to tell, and I wish, unlike earlier in this Let's Play, I could say, "Oh, my recording software let me down," because that would be nicer to stomach. But I cannot blame D3D for this fault. It was definitely all me. I've had a very good session, and I've been talking to you guys and gals all along. I'll show you what we've done. We've sprayed all of the fields. We've literally, I got the procession out. They're all back. I sprayed field 5, field 6. We did it in military grand style. They're all of them, field 22, all nicely done. I then proceeded to mow field 46, and we windrowed it, and we gathered it all in. We did cut the grass on that, and we windrowed it. All we had to do, as I summed up in speaking to you guys and gals, that never got recorded because some wally forgot to hit the record key. So although I literally told you guys and gals everything I did, you may also notice the money's gone up. That is because we also did the digestate. I had a grand session, at least an hour and a quarter session. It was really so spot on. We'd done all the grass, gathered it all up, and yes, Wally here forgot to press record. So I'm blaming no one but myself. We had 100 and odd thousand, I think it was 105,000 already, so we've cut 203,000 off this field and gathered that in. We've got the windmill field is cut and windrowed, but that will be done tomorrow. I'm going to gather that up in my next session. As you can see, 579, I should just show you, I've just done this recording just so as it's, it's that one there. If I just show you today, what we've done today. 7,150 property income, maintenance 56, 40 fuel costs. Yes, I topped one of the things up. Wages 3,710, 240. Contracts. Oh, it was yesterday. Harvest income, that was me doing the digestate. Sorry, I did that last night. It was a session that spanned. Yeah, it was on the last session that I recorded successfully. It was late afternoon, so I did the digestate runs late at night. Not done anything and then today I did the spray in. It was still raining actually till 9 o'clock at night ish. So I slept all the way through the night. That's true. I have dumped 96 tons of the manure from the farm. That also is done today. So I'm going to get a bit of a payout tonight for the. Oh yeah, that's true. I will have a bit more digestate, won't I? How much digestate have we got? Yeah, 38,400 digestate, which we will probably run in the next session as well, so that we're up to. The money has gone up. We've done quite well out of all of the digestate runs. We had almost three full tankers. We had 248s and 142,000 something or other, which really brought in. It's about 26. Yeah, about the 70 something. It was I think it was about 496. Was what I started with, and then so you can see, but really not, about 80 something thousand from the digestate runs, and the little bit that ticks up from the passive income, which isn't a lot. It was 7,000, I think it said, wasn't it? So yeah, so that is the state of play. I'm very sorry. I always said I will show you everything. Well, I would if I'd hit record, but as I say, somebody forgot to hit the F8 key until the very last minute, and my stomach sank because I pressed the F8 key, which should normally say stop recording, and it said start recording, and I thought, you idiots, you didn't hit start. So I managed to record 9 seconds of that session, at which my heart sank to my feet, and I thought, no, because I realised what I'd done at that moment. And as I say, I cannot blame anybody but my own silliness. It was all me. It definitely was not my excellent recording software. it was definitely user error. So that's just a very small addendum. Oh, there is one other thing. If we take a look at the cows, you will notice we now have... Oh, we had 107 early. We have 2 more births. We have got 109 cows. Yes, our births began this morning, so that is amazing as well. That to be honest, made my day. Yeah, really has made my... Wow, 30,000 again. Just by... It's not even... only just gone dinner time. It is getting quicker now, filling up with milk. I suppose it will do now. And also we've got a little bit of milk, and it is a little bit, but nevertheless it's really nice to see that we have waited patiently for over a year. But yes, we have... Oh, it doesn't show you, does it? Actually, you have to be down at the farm to look at the milk machine. But we did have 831 litres first thing this morning, so that will have gone up a little. So that's 9 cows that have given birth, so 9 cows that are actually milking. That is right, isn't it? Yes, it is. That is right. Yeah, I'll check the wheat, and as you can see, that's not still rubbish at the minute. So, yeah, I also, one other job that I did do, I did notice that the sugar plant wasn't chucking out any sugar, and it hadn't done over the night. Well, I filled it up, as you can see. Sugar beets are at 98%. Lime will need topping up, but the molasses were full, so I didn't realise that when one of the outputs was full, it stops the other. The machinery stops, so I've had most of the day and night where it's not been producing anything due to me leaving the molasses slot with the 2 full there. So I've grabbed them out now. That was the other job I did, and stuck them around here on the corner. So the spraying worked an absolute treat. It was a very precise military operation. It did work really well. It went to plan exactly as I hoped. Field 5, obviously the smallest field, finished very quickly. I left the Agritron on field 22. So as soon as he'd finished, which was quite quick, I couldn't believe how quickly, literally it was about 3 minutes. So I dragged him up here, did field 22, and we both finished that very quickly. By that time, I took the 2 of those, the Agritron and I think it was the John Deere on that one. I took them both over to here, and field 6 had pretty much done, to be honest. He didn't need any help. But field 7, there was 7 minutes left on that course, so I assisted with the Agritron being as it was quickest, and we finished that again in another 2 or 3 minutes. So it literally was an amazing amount of speed that we did. So if we check now, we shouldn't have any weeds. Yes. Well, almost. There's a tiny weeny little dot there, and a weeny dot there. But I'm sure you remember yesterday there were weeds everywhere. So yeah. So now we need to also spray this one. And once we've done that one spray. Actually, that one needs... I think we are going to have to plough that. We'll grab that and plough that up, actually, I think, as well. I didn't realise I'd not done that, so we'll get that done and replanted. But we'll wait till the autumn, I think, on that. With it being an American map, till when we've done our last harvest, what we'll do is we'll plough that and field 5 as well after the next... it is beet anyway, sugar beet, so you'd have to harvest it after. You'd have to plough it. Get the ploughed state anyway after a root crop. So yeah, but you can see I have done all of that, so that went really well, and it did. I really don't regret my choice of having those 4 sprayers. It really did work well, and as I said to you once before but you didn't hear, was it did definitely actually show you what I did with them. And the one thing I did say was, obviously you couldn't duplicate that with all pieces of equipment, because then what would you do about storing them? Look, I've got them all lined up down there when I'd finished, so that's all done. I've got the limer and fertilizer ready to do that fields tomorrow as well. Got them literally both filled up, but this one has got fertilizer in, which should have lime. And I said I'd basically fertilise this with this one, and then anything extra dump in there, and then we'll lime with this as well, just so as we can get rid of everything. and we'll fertilise the other field with the other fertiliser. To be honest though, I think that's a bit, I don't like that. It's a bit dumb that. It's duplicating and wasting just for the sake of dumping this little bit of fertiliser inside there, so we'll do that now. Fill it with lime and put it on the side of the field and the other one, and we'll do that tomorrow. I'm gutted really, because it was a really, really productive session. It's always, every single time when something important goes on. When I bought the farm, it went wrong. When I bought the, oh, you're not, are you? What are you gonna spit in there? No, you're not. Thank goodness for that. Right, let's refill the tipper. Yeah, always when something important goes on that you really would like to share, like the birth of the cows. I would have really liked someone to have seen that. I mean, I know I said in the last session it was imminent that they were going to give birth, but it would have been nice for my guests to see at the time that they gave birth rather than later on when they're just a number on a sheet. Yeah, I'm really quite upset about it, but it is all down to me and my own silliness. Perfectly good, nice long session, totally ruined by somebody not pressing a button. I would love to say it was down to the recording software, but as I say, it really wasn't. So, anyway, let's fill this up with lime, and then at least tomorrow, hopefully, we shall remember to hit the record button. It is funny because I'm normally quite good at, because this has happened to me, and actually with D3D I did this very early on my my very first Let's Play on Greenwich Valley. I did once forget, and I have never ever forgotten since that day to press record. I've got a timer, and I press record, and I press start. Three things that I have to do each time, and of course, no, silly idiot here, pressed start, pressed his timer, which worked perfectly well, and forgot to press record. So I think I'm going to have to get a bit more anal about this to make sure that I have done all three, because I don't want to be doing this. But as I say, it is a long time since I've done it. I suppose we all make mistakes, but I just wish that it was mistakes not made on a pivotal, it's always a pivotal point of the Let's Play. I know it might not seem so, but to me it is. I'm so annoyed. Right, let's grab the other one and follow me, and we'll take them both down to the edge of that field. So yes, I am rather gutted by my own silliness. Don't think I'll get it at that angle. Oh, I did. That surprises me. Oh, now then, will I be blocked? I would imagine so. We had a bit of trouble. That was another thing. Follow Me kept on saying blocked by an object when really it was a mile away from anything. Now that I could understand being blocked by an object, and it may well get blocked by that object, and that I understand because it was a little bit close. And it's going to do it this time, isn't it? It's not going to be blocked by an object just to prove me. Yeah, there you go. When you expect it to be blocked, it's not. Thank you, young man, for your assistance. Right, so I'm going to leave it there. Even though you guys have no evidence, apart from the fact that you can see that the grass has been cut, and that you can see that the grass definitely has reached the silo, then yes, there is no, I suppose that's proof enough, but I hate it because this is one of my things. That the extreme part of this is that I show all footage, which I suppose in my defence I am showing all footage that I have done, but not all footage. So anyway, my bad, I am human, definitely all too human, and I have made this drastic stupid mistake. But we are doing well. I am quite chuffed. We should also get a bit of a, not a massive one. Obviously we've got a bit of a bit of a payout from the BGA tonight. I think it's about 20,000 odd, isn't it? So that should take us up to 600,000. which does mean we're only it's 742 into, I think. I'm sure it was, 764, even more. So yeah, we're still not doing bad though. I mean, we should be at almost 600,000 by the payout tonight. Then I'm going to compost that, which, to be honest, when you consider that's going to be, it's 308,000 now. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get make that up to 350. I think actually last time it was up to 350. If we compost that and stick that in the BGA, I would imagine with the payout of the digestate and the payout from the BGA, and also I would imagine by tomorrow morning we should probably be pretty much up to 2 more loads of manure. So I should say from all of that little lot, we won't be far off buying our field 13, which will be amazing. It's nice because obviously it's probably been the biggest thing that we've sort of saved up for. It is a monster field, but that's definitely what we're buying next. And I did also say in the last episode that when we've done that, the next thing that I'm going to buy is going to be that I've threatened I'm buying all of these times, is a loading wagon. I did say a long time ago, and I'm also said that for once I usually go, let me show you, it's easier. Loading wagon, where are you? I don't buy you often enough for it to stick in my head. Loading wagons. Yeah, I normally go for a modded one, which is the Quantum, which is only 28,000 for a 38k, 35,000, 35 tons. But I shall again for a big one. A wheel for a change. Let's have a look. That's 53. Let's go. What's the biggest one? Is it the Rapide? Yeah, let's go for the Rapide for a change, to be honest. Yeah, the shooter Mac is slightly, not sure about the pickups there. There's not much in it, is there, to be honest? Both almost identical. One's got 500 litres more than the other, so yeah. Yeah, and the T goes a lot smaller. And yeah, then we're going down, aren't we, to silly. If we're going to do it, we want to go big or go home, I say, on this one. So yeah, I think we'll go for the Rapide. That'll be the next big thing after the field, but that's a long way off, to be honest. We have got the field still a way off. We are also, I did show that we were in the second to last growth stage. Oh my life, actually, no, we've moved into the last. Oh, that's amazing. Literally, when I looked first thing, we were on the last light green stage before the dark. Let's just check. I am right. That is the last. It is, isn't it? Oh, wow. Since this morning, they've moved from the third green stage to the fourth stage before turning to ready to harvest. So, and that's even my sugar beets as well. Obviously, field 22 was at was it the second? It looks like it's, yeah. I'm not sure. I can't see if that's second or third. To me, it looks closer to the third stage. I think they've all moved one stage forward, which means those three have all moved to the final growth stage before being ready to harvest, and that's moved into the third. So it's still got the dark green. Of course, that was planted after everything else. Now we have, let's just go to the fruit types. I've forgotten, grass is back on. Always does that when you start the session again. So yeah, you can see the harvested state on both of those. And I didn't look, but I would imagine that was still the light orange, the first stage of growth on ready to harvest, rather than that which was a deep orange. Oh, that's a thought. I'll get a 50% increase on that. I actually might get a little bit more off that than I actually anticipated. So maybe a little bit more than the 350,000. Not that I'm moaning. That's fantastic, but yeah, anyway, I was going to say when, wow, that's orange as well. We will obviously, when we buy field 13, we will cut that and we should get an absolute mass of grass off that, because it is so huge. If we got 300 and... no, it's not 300, 200 and... yeah, about 200,000 off that. Imagine what we're going to get off that. That is going to be massive. So when we buy field 13, we'll have a humongous amount of grass, which will mean a humongous amount of compost, which will mean a humongous amount of digestates. So we might, if we're very fortunate, this is me getting my crystal ball out again, this is a guesstimate to be honest, we may, after all of that, just about get enough to actually buy the loading wagon, which would be very nice. So obviously we're also going to have an awful lot of, I'm being silly, we're going to get so much straw out of 7 and 6 this time that's going to produce an awful lot of compost for that as well. I might actually do compost. I do know how to do it now. I did read the compost, because what I'm doing is not completing the compost. The other thing I didn't realise, that compost, if allowed, if you did use it instead of manure for spreading your fields, is twice as effective as natural manure at doing fields, at fertilising. So yeah, that is quite phenomenal. But I mean, obviously I always sell it as manure anyway, but I'm not sure whether I'm misusing that mod a little bit, sort of making it into manure rather than going the whole hog. I suppose I'm only using game mechanics onto really, and I didn't actually do it on purpose, but I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't ever like any kind of cheating, and it wasn't cheating when I didn't know, but now I do know that there is another step to compost making, and I did buy the compost heap. It does sort of imply that you are making compost. So yes, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I shall have a mental dilemma with myself, and I shall tell you guys and gals what I think. And if anyone else has an opinion on this, then please, by all means. We've done no contracts because we had so much work on with all of the spraying and all of the spraying and the grass gathering that we literally didn't have any time to do anything else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else mind shattering that happened. No, that was it. I think I've covered everything that happened in this session, the lost session number 3. It might even be number 4. We've definitely lost at least 3 early ones with Marillis. And it did have a nasty habit of cutting out sound, which since using D3D I have not lost a single episode sound at all. So again, I do stand by my decision that Action was no good with my setup. I can't say it's no good, but it's certainly let me down one time too many, and I shan't be going back to it. Whereas D3D has never let me down, unlike me pressing the F8 key, which definitely I let myself down, and D3D, because I'd missed an episode. Anyway, enough waffling. I think that's us caught up completely with what happened in that session that is now lost. I'm going to say I hope you continue on this episode. We are beginning to get to what I'm quite exciting territory, to be honest. I am so bowled over by our progress for year 2. I mean, I don't think I would have ever believed anyone if you'd have said to me that halfway through year 2 I would have field 5, 6, 7, 22, 46 and a little field there, and bought the farm and had over 100 cows. I would have laughed, because I truly would not have believed that you could have done all of that, and obviously we have got all of that under a very good way halfway through this year of almost buying field 13. So yeah, I am so bowled over. We're on hard economy. It's hard to make money, and to be honest, it's flowed so well. We've done so well on the contract system that we are so far in advance of where I would have predicted we would have been on a hard economy let's play just by halfway through year 2. So yeah, I am bowled over. I did all no, that wasn't last session actually. Yeah, if anybody does want to leave any comments about where we should go, what the final sort of things were. I did say 500 animals, and that's another thing I'd like to do. To make that happen, we will have 200 cows, which would double up to 400, so we will need to buy another 100 to actually. I would like to fill that. I would want that to be one of the final conditions of this Let's Play finishing, which is that cattle is filled with 500 cows. Now I know they're not all going to be adults. There's going to be some births in that last year that finishes this off to be 500, but I want to know what anybody else thinks about this, as to what other conditions we should have. Yeah, I'd like to see what anybody else thinks about final conditions at the end of the Let's Play. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you continue on this journey with me, and I'm going to say goodbye for now.